Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Astro baseball this afternoon, 11:40 on 100.7 The Score. They finish up their series with the Detroit Tigers. It's not gone so well so far. The Rangers will continue.
They've not scored yet.
Yeah, right. So it's gone horribly wrong for them. But the Tigers are a good team. I mean, Rangers will play Game 3 of 4 in Kansas City tonight. They'll finish their series tomorrow at 12:30. We'll have both those games for you on Double T 97.3. And then the Astros, this is kind of weird. They go from Detroit to Baltimore. That's not what's weird. What's weird is they play a Thursday game to start a series. You don't see that very often. Doesn't seem like.
You don't say it again? What's weird about it?
The Astros will go from Detroit to Baltimore. That's not so strange. What's odd to me is they start a series on a Thursday. They're playing 4 games, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You just don't see that very often. A lot of times you see a series end on a Thursday, not necessarily start on a Thursday.
More so the first, but yeah, you see teams start on Thursday.
I know, just
but more, you're right. More times they end on a Thursday.
It just seemed a little odd. This headline captured my attention. It's concerning the Dallas Cowboys. The headline from this article on CBS Sports: Jerry Jones shares candid reasoning behind insistence on being the Cowboys general manager. His immediate quote was,
already chuckling.
I like the pain. I like the pain.
You know, I heard Chris Canty talking about this morning on ESPN radio, and he's like, nobody else can handle what Jerry can handle. Nobody else wants the pain like Jerry wants it. Nobody else, wants the people criticizing them. And I'm like, Chris Canty, you're so missing the point. Okay, it's not that he wants the pain. It's not that he wants the criticism. He wants all the the kudos. He wants all the respect. He wants all the pats on the back. He wants everybody looking at him. It's not that he's asking for criticism. He's just asking for focus on him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he said, I'm often asked the question why I don't hire a general manager. This is in the Netflix documentary. He said, I've had people that have said, Jerry, you subject yourself to so much criticism, you need a buffer. I don't like it like that. I like the pain. He also said...
Does he have to put all of us through it, too?
Right.
That was funny. That was ready to be laughed at.
Yeah. He also made it clear he's not relinquishing his title as general manager anytime soon. No, just no. I bought the team. I think the first thing to come out of my mouth, somebody asked, did you buy this for your kids? I said, hell no, I bought it for me. And I didn't buy an investment. I bought an occupation. And I bought something I was going to do. I was 46 years old. I bought something I was going to do for the rest of my life. That's what I'm doing. So no. The facts are, since I have to decide where the money is spent, then you might as well cut out all the bull. And that's who's making the call anyways. Okay, well, he bought an occupation. That was interesting to me. And the other thing, too, is you forget how young Jerry Jones was when he bought the team. I mean, 46 years old. I mean, he had other partners and things like that. But that's pretty wild that you still think about that. I mean, the other thing that's wild is it's been 29 years since they've been to a conference title game.
Not wild. Bad teams.
Third longest in the NFL and the longest.
Bad GM helped.
In the NFC, right. Right.
How much would Jeff and I need to pull together to get you to only talk about the Cowboys and not Jerry Jones? How much would it take? Like $1.25?
Because we haven't talked about but 5 minutes of any of the preseason action.
I'm sorry. We talked about it the other day. We talked more than 5 minutes.
I don't really even feel that that's also worthy the preseason action. But yeah, I know.
I think I've got a story here on Micah Parsons. We've talked about him. And Jerry Jones got a warning from Troy Aikman on Monday Night Football the other night.
None of that is happening on the field.
You are absolutely talking about the headlines that need to be talked about, Chuck. I'm not criticizing you. This is what I despise. This is why I've lost because I definitely have over the years rooted for the Cowboys. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I root for the Cowboys.
Not as my favorite team, but just after covering them for so many years and getting to be around the players and seeing guys that I really met and really enjoyed being around and thought were great dudes, I couldn't help but root for them. But Jerry has shown in every way possible that it is not about winning and it is about Jerry. And so I have tired head of Jerry. I still, enjoy watching Cowboy games on Sunday night or Sunday afternoon or Monday or Thursday or whatever, and I'm not rooting for them to lose by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just so tired of Jerry Jones. When he wants to make it a football team and not about Jerry Jones, I'll be back in.
Aikman said this on Monday Night Football about Micah Parsons and his leverage. He said, leverage is that they can't win without him. I do think the Cowboys are going to be better than what a lot of people project. I don't think anybody knows what Jerry is ever going to do. He said, you can't be great without Micah Parsons. That's his leverage. His leverage is they can't win without him. That's not to say that the Cowboys won't win any games at all if they don't get a deal done with Parsons. But at any rate, he said, I do think the Cowboys are going to be better. I saw something where, the pundits think their over-under is 7.5. I think they're going to be much better than that. I think they've got a chance. I think I like what Brian Schottenheimer has shown in training camp and going into the year, and they've got some things that I like about the team in general. But without Micah Parsons, I don't think they're going to be able to slow anybody down. He said, I think Brian Schottenheimer is going to do really well as the head coach of the Cowboys. Wow. That's strong words coming from Troy Aikman, who's not always been complimentary of the head coach. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with regard to that. I mean, Brian Schottenheimer threatened the Cowboys. He didn't threaten them. He said to come ready for these last couple of practices because he was going to wear them out. Okay. And then this Netflix deal, apparently Jimmy Johnson, after the team lost the game, he told the flight attendants to put up the food that they didn't deserve to eat. Probably couldn't do that today. But he said, nope, I'm not going to eat anything on this trip. You're going to suffer just like me. You're going to have that nauseating knot in your stomach just like me. So no food for you, Cowboy losers. That's when they lost. Okay.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
The day the work gets done, August the 20th, 2025. Here is Jeff McGuire with his day in sports history.
I actually missed one yesterday. Kind of feel guilty about it, so I'm going to hit it here today. Yesterday, in 2021, Kristen Davis scored a goal, and the defense didn't allow a single shot on goal, as Texas Tech opened up its season with a 1-0 win over UTEP at the John Walker Soccer Complex. So there were two soccer things yesterday, and I only got one of them in, so I'm sorry, Coach Doan. I'll try to be better.
Man.
They were 0 for 0 in shots on goal then. That's pretty good.
1915 for today, Chicago White Sox acquire shoeless Joe Jackson from Cleveland for Robert Roth, Larry Campanell, Ed Kepner, and $31,500.
Seems like a big chunk of change at that point.
That does, yeah.
Jackson, of course, would become involved in the Black Sox scandal 4 years later.
Yeah. Do you think he should be exonerated or just continue to let him hang out there?
He took the money.
Okay.
Make the argument all you want. He didn't do anything to earn the money, but he took it.
I wonder how many people's opinions are based on the movie 8 Men Out?
So many. And the book as well. Like,
okay, is that factual?
There's some storytelling in it, but there's a lot of research that went into it for the book, which is what the movie was based off of. Ultimately, that we took the money.
Yeah. I could listen to an argument though if that was based in fact.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was not necessarily based in fact.
1938, New York Yankee future Baseball Hall of Fame first baseman Lou Gehrig hits his record 23rd and final Grand Slam in an 11-3 win over the Philadelphia A's at Shibe Park. 1957, Chicago White Sox Bob Keegan no-hits the Washington Senators 6-0. In 1974, Nolan Ryan's pitch is measured at a record 100.4 miles per hour. 1991, Dolphins' Dan Marino surpasses Joe Montana as the highest-paid NFL player with a 5-year extension. You guys want to take a shot at what he got for 5 years?
Okay. For Marino, I'm going to guess $1.5 million a year.
More than that.
More than that, okay.
5-year extension for an extra $25 million. And in 2023, a strong crowd of over 1,000 in the first game on the new natural grass surface. The Texas Tech Red Raider soccer team rolled past New Mexico State 5-0 at the John Walker Soccer Complex. It is National Chocolate Pecan Day. Excuse me. Let me try that again. Chocolate Pecan Pie Day.
Yeah, I'm out.
I forgot a word.
Do you like the chocolate pecan pie? Or just the pecan pie?
I've never had pecan pie.
Okay.
And it's National Bacon Lovers Day.
Okay.
I like bacon.
I do too.
Yes. No one says no to bacon. Unless they're weird. Happy birthday, former Red Raider soccer player, Janine Sonis. We know her as Janine Becky.
She got married.
She's 31 now.
All right.
Demi Lovato, 32. Andrew Garfield, 42. Amy Adams, 51. Robert Plant, 77. Ron Wise is 78. Al Roker, 71.
Al Roker's just 71?
Uh-huh.
God, he seems older than that.
Been around a while.
I know, but he just seems older than that. I thought he was like 80-something.
And Mitch Trubisky is 31.
Okay.
And on this day, lots of things happened on this day in history, but I thought this one was fun. You ever waited a really long time for somebody to reply to a text message and you get annoyed at it? Mm-hmm. You're like, you just had your phone in your hand. You just sent me a message. I replied. Well,
happens to me quite frequently, to be quite candid with you.
1911, the New York Times decided to send a telegram in order to determine how fast a commercial message could be sent around the world. The message, reading simply, "This message sent around the world," left the dispatch room on the 17th floor of the Times building in New York at 7 p.m. on August 20th. After it traveled more than 28,000 miles, being relayed by 16 different operators through San Francisco, the Philippines, Hong Kong, Saigon, Singapore, Bombay, Malta, Lisbon, the Azores, among other locations, the reply was received by the same operator 16 and a half minutes later. It was the fastest time achieved by a commercial cablegram since the opening of the Pacific Cable in 1900 by the Commercial Cable Company. So the next time you're really waiting for somebody and it takes them 17 minutes to get back to you on a text message, you say, you could have telegrammed it to me faster.
Okay. Yeah,
is this day of sports history.
This day in sports history. There is nothing more annoying than responding to somebody's text. Okay? They ask you a question. You respond to that question, and in that response, you also have another question, and then they don't respond to you.
Yeah, I guess if it was like something that they needed your answer because they were in a conversation with somebody else and they were in the middle of it, then you would expect that response to come back from them later. But to get no response, yeah, that would be annoying.
Yeah. I saw this last night. It warmed my heart. I'm disappointed that I didn't see it when it happened immediately. But when they had their media confab, CBS Sports, to introduce their announcing lineup for the year, I'd love to go to that sometime. I think that would be kind of cool. They announced, because this is the 50th anniversary of the NFL Today on CBS, that for week 3 of the NFL Today, none other than Brent Musburger will come back to host the show with all the graphics and the music like it's supposed to be. The dun 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 dun, dun. Okay, and that will be for week 3. Unfortunately, there won't be any Jimmy the Greek. He's dead. Irv Cross is dead. So
I'm glad they're not going to be there then.
Well, I wish they could have been there. And I believe Phyllis George is no longer with us either. She was part of that as well. And I thought she was terrific. And then Jane Kennedy was just good looking, but she was smart. Yeah. Phyllis George has been gone for about 5 years, but Jane Kennedy is still around. And who knows? Maybe she'll come back and be a part of the NFL Today for one last time. Okay. But I love that. I love that they're gonna have Cheeseburger. All right, he'll give some odds and things like that. He'll be terrific. He can't do it every week anymore.
Did you say you're glad they have Cheeseburger?
Well, that's what me and my friends called Musburger. We called him Cheeseburger.
Okay. I get it.
Okay. Somebody says this. I would have guessed that Roker and Chuck were about the same age. Huh? Really? Have you seen him? Wow. I'm gonna have to work a little harder tonight in the gym. You need one good looker for Musburger to gawk at. Yeah, that's probably some truth to that. But man, he's old and he's still married. He's still married to the same gal. He's been married forever and ever and ever.
Well, that's because he looked. He didn't touch. That's different.
There's right. There's a difference.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Live. Good morning with Jamie Lent and Jeff McGuire. I'm Chuck Heinz. We'll have baseball on the air for you today. We'll have the conclusion of the Astros and the Tigers from Detroit, 11:40. First pitch to follow at about 12:10 today. And then the Rangers and the Royals will play game 3 of 4. We'll have that game at 6 tonight, 6:40 from Kansas City on Double T 97.3. Okay. Sports Illustrated put this article out. Came out, let's see here. I think it came out yesterday at some point in time. Doesn't matter. I think you're going to like where they have the Red Raiders. And I don't think there's any question that you're going to like where they have the Red Raiders and the Big 12 standings. This is part of what they have to say. Go ahead and pick names out of a hat or start flipping coins to determine who you think is going to win every game of this league. Given how closely bunched it is from the very top all the way to the bottom of the conference. In the end, the returning production of reigning champion Arizona State wins out, while the roster improvement in Lubbock carries the day for Texas Tech to eke out enough victories to make it to Arlington. That's good news. Okay, That's what we're after. The tough non-conference schedule probably hurts Baylor's chances of being in the college football playoff mix, but don't overlook Utah taking a big step forward because between its improved offense and normally stingy defense to send Kyle Whittingham out on a nice note. There's some regression built in for Colorado and BYU after last year, but don't be surprised if Kansas and Arizona win a few more of those close games than they did in 2024. Okay? So here's where they have Tech and Arizona State. They have Tech and Arizona State both winning 10 games overall, 10-2, 7-2 in the Big 12. They have Baylor at 7-2. So that would be a tie with those three schools, but Arizona State and Texas Tech winning out on a tiebreaker.
Okay.
Probably wouldn't surprise you, right, if Baylor won 7 games?
Nope.
Okay. Utah, they have Utah, TCU, and Iowa State each going 6-3. BYU, Kansas State, Cincinnati, Kansas going 5-4. I think I'm surprised at the K-State 5-4, and they have K-State going 8-4 overall,
which is exactly where they were last year.
They have Houston at 6-6, so that's making a bowl game. That shows big improvement for that program. 3-6 in the Big 12. And then they have Colorado and Arizona each at 5-7, 3-6 respectively. UCF and West Virginia at 4-8 overall, 2-7 in the conference. And Oklahoma State 2-10 and 0-9 in Big 12 play. I just have a hard time believing Oklahoma State's going to be that bad 2 years in a row.
I don't think they killed it in the transfer portal. They've got a quarterback that, it doesn't seem like the quarterback battle was with shotguns. I think it was rather with pillows. And I don't expect them to be great. I wouldn't expect them also to be over, but I think I would probably say that about just about anybody. Just the odds are you're going to pull one or two off, but I don't think they're going to be very good.
For Arizona State, Sports Illustrated predicts their 2 losses to be Week 7 at Utah and Week 10 at Iowa State. They have them winning at Baylor, which probably helps with the tiebreaker. It does help with the tiebreaker. They have them winning at home against TCU. They have Arizona State winning in Week 8 at home against Texas Tech, winning against Houston, then winning out against West Virginia, Colorado, and Arizona. I mean, that's a pretty weak finish for Arizona State. If they can survive the early portion of the season, the fact that they've got those 3 at the end really bodes well for them. As far as the Red Raiders are concerned, as I mentioned to you, they have Texas Tech at 10-2. And it's not going to surprise you who they have Tech losing to. Week 4 at Utah, and then Week 8 at Arizona State. They do have the Red Raiders winning at Kansas State, winning at Houston, and then winning at West Virginia.
We've asked that question before about can you lose 2 of those 3 tough road games and still make it in? And according to Sports Illustrated, the answer is yes. Now, that's just a prediction. But
Here's what's interesting to me with regard to Utah. They have Utah, as I mentioned to you, winning Week 4. That's the first Big 12 game for both Tech and Utah. But then they have Utah losing at West Virginia. I realize it's clear across the country, but, man, and that's very early on in the season for both of those teams. So
I hate to think that our non-conference schedule that didn't turn out to be very difficult is going to hurt us with that first Big 12 game, but it's going to be Oregon State's probably going to be decent, but it's going to be a big change when you go to play on the road at Utah after those first 3 games.
Utah finishes at Baylor, at home against Kansas State, and at Kansas, and they have Utah losing the 2 Kansas games and winning at Baylor. So, really, that Utah Baylor game in their mind, that's basically breaking up the tie in terms of Utah winning and beating Baylor, and that helps you in the Big 12 championship game.
Oh, it feels like a big game, no doubt.
Yeah.
Not just for those 2, but others. But I think you can pick out about 15 or 16 of them.
Sure.
Of the contenders when they're facing off against each other.
Sure. Of course, KU and K-State get started this week with college football. They predict Kansas State to lose in Ireland to Iowa State for the quote Week 0 game. Do you have a thought on that game yet? Do you think that's an Iowa State win?
My first thought is anxious for it to get here.
Okay.
Yeah. I probably lean towards man, I don't know. Toss up.
Okay. Well, could your mind change on what you think about either of those teams based on what happens in that game?
Yeah, one of them looks terrible.
Yeah, I mean, if there's
well, I'll say, I don't think they're that good this year. If one of them looks great, I'll be like, hey, I was really impressed with them. They might be better than we thought.
And then
is that what you're asking me?
It was.
Does your mind not change by watching a team play and seeing how they look?
Yes, it's a fair response. It was probably a stupid question. I was just thinking about, week one. It's hard to have an opinion of a team week one, but when you're playing a conference game week one and you're playing a formidable opponent for both sides.
But also holding out a little bit of thought that, hey, it's week 0. You traveled to Ireland to play. There's a lot of distractions, a lot of craziness there, so maybe a team could be better than they showed in that game.
Because, see, I think I don't think they're favored by that. Well, I don't know. I don't really watch the odds, so I don't know. But I think if you're looking at those the two games involving Big 12 schools, if Kansas were to lose to Fresno State, that's a bigger indictment on them than if K-State or Iowa State loses to each other, just unless it's some kind of just massive blowout and you get a bunch of injuries.
Yes, that's fair, because K-State and Iowa State are thought of as solid teams.
Yeah.
So whoever loses that game, if it's a decent game, you're not going to act like they're, just lost to App State or something.
Right. This from the Yates Flooring Center chat line. I really appreciate this. Chuck, someone's right up on how this team does. What matters is performance on the field. You take what people are saying to heart way too much. It doesn't matter. Okay. That sounds like something like a defensive coach like a hard-nosed coach would say to you. It does not matter.
Like Shield would.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I don't know him. I've only shook his hand. I think we shook hands.
It's probably him. He texted in.
Yeah.
Did you offer to buy him a coat?
No, I did not.
Okay.
Taking my boys to school, and they wanted to tell you guys good morning. Hey, good morning, fellas. Be model citizens today. Do what your teachers say. Learn something. And be nice to your parents.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3. Presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Jamie's question of the day on Double T 97.3 is brought to you by Connecticut of West Texas.
All right, gentlemen, I am trying to gauge which of these two things you think is going to change more. So today I say to you that the Texas Tech offense last year for the season averaged 37.6 points per game. That led the Big 12 Conference by more than 3 points per game. I almost said 3 runs per game. 3 points per game.
Okay.
Your Texas Tech defense averaged 34.8 points per game allowed. That was 15th in the Big 12.
Okay.
Only ahead of Oklahoma State, who went over in conference. They gave up 35.6 points per game. So 37.6 scoring last year, 34.8 defensively last year. What do you think guess to where those numbers will be this season?
I think your defensive points allowed will be significantly less. You had 2 games that you gave up more than 50 points. You gave up 51 to Abilene Christian. You gave up 59 to Baylor. You gave up 48 to Oklahoma State. Okay?
And one.
And one, right. Yeah, you won 2 of those 3 games. You gave up 41 to Cincinnati and 39 to Arkansas in the bowl game. You know what? I think, man, here's a bold statement. I think you're going to give up less than 40 points a game on average this year.
Okay. you gave up 34.8 per game last year.
Oh, 34.8? Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought I was higher than that. Okay.
I don't know if you're high or how high you are, but
Okay, 34.8. All right, I'm sorry, I misunderstood you. Okay, I'll say you're going to give up 29 points a game defensively this year.
So almost 5 to 6 points
because
less
I
per
think
game.
because you're not going to have the 50 burger points that you gave up to ACU and to Baylor. And then offensively, what was the offensive number again?
37.6.
I think you're going to be around. I think you're going to be at 38. I think you're going to be right about that.
Okay.
I don't think you're going to really score that many more points.
I could see both numbers being improved by a touchdown. So you get to 44 points a game on the offense and 27 points plus on defense. With your no longer focusing as much on the run, you're going to have more opportunities. You're going to be able to score more points there. You're not going to be running as much clock. Games are going to be longer with you passing the ball around and more opportunities to have some quick strikes. Taj was a lot of things. He wasn't a home run hitter. He was more, I'm going to go get 15, 20 yards on a big play as opposed to I'm going to take one to the house from the 20.
I don't know. There was that one with Jalen Conyers where they high-fived.
That was more the exception than the rule for Taj.
Totally fair.
And that's not a knock on Taj because Taj was excellent last year. But with the weapons that you've got on offense, I don't know that it's a shock to say you're going to score another touchdown a game and get up in the 40s on average. So a 14-point swing, 7 both ways.
So you're talking 44 plus, you're talking 27 plus.
Yeah.
Okay. Man, to go from a 3-point differential to a 17-point differential, that's massive. I think I'm more conservative on offense than you, Jeff. I think I'll probably bump to 40-ish. Okay. So 2.5, 3 points per game. And then I think I'll be a little bit more conservative than you two on defense too. But I don't know. This could be dramatically different. I mean, there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 teams in the Big 12 last year that gave up less than 25 points per game.
Wow.
Okay? Do you think
over half
you're
the
going
league.
to be 9th or best defensively in this conference this year?
I think
Yeah.
I think you are.
I do too.
But I also look at what you have at the quarterback position at this in this conference and feel like it's going to be difficult because you should have some really good offenses because for the most part you've got really good quarterback play. So I think I've talked myself into more than just down to 30. I think I'll go to like 27.5-ish.
So in Big 12 play last year, your defense gave up 33.8 points a game. Your offense scored 36.5 points a game. And that doesn't count the bowl game. That's the 9 Big 12 games.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So I don't know. I could see where Jeff is coming from on the additional offense and the defense. Somebody says this. I agree with Jeff. With better defense and more stops, that's more opportunities for the offense.
You hope so.
Yeah.
You hope so.
No question.
Complimentary football.
Oh, we love that. And we love
Just so
Do
we
we?
can say it, that word, right?
right. That's where I was coming from.
Do
Right.
we? Have we really truly experienced complimentary football? I mean, we've heard about
Yeah.
it. We've heard.
He just said we love it. He didn't say we've seen it a lot.
No,
Well,
we
can you
love
love
it.
something you haven't seen?
Yeah, I mean, because I love it when the coaches talk about complimentary. When they played complimentary football, and then when they do play complimentary football, and they say that they played.
I've never seen us win a national championship in football. I guarantee you I'll love it.
Fair enough.
Here's the thing that you could really improve on is your red zone scoring. I mean, last year you were at 40 of 62. You got in the red zone 62 times, and you scored touchdowns 40 times. You scored 56 times, but there was stalling of your offense there. Your defense in the red zone, and you could say, well, there were a bunch of explosive plays, which is fair. The defense only gave up 36 touchdowns in the red zone. A couple of times it saved your bacon.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I feel like that we've covered a lot of bases today, and we've talked a lot of sports today, so all checking a lot of boxes. Tomorrow, big milepost tomorrow with the Red Raider kickoff luncheon over at the Civic Center across the street. Right?
Yeah, you gonna walk over?
No, I've typical for my life downtown. Yesterday I made 3 trips down here. Boom, 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 just a boomerang. Now I have a meeting across town, a true meeting across town, a business meeting.
Oh yeah.
And then truly I do. And then I'll come back over here for the lunch. So the last time that I walked over there, I had to bang on the door because they didn't unlock the west side doors to the Civic Center. So if you're the custodian in charge, for those of us that work in this building here that choose to walk over, please unlock that door so that we can get in to your fine building. They probably want to keep the homeless and other folks out of there. The riffraff that's downtown. Well, there's riffraff. I mean, I saw riffraff this morning on my way to work. I mean, they're riffraff over there by the hodl. You know, God only knows what those guys were doing. That was yesterday morning. And then
you got to work and saw more riffraff.
Came inside and there was only one riffraff. Somebody says, oh, the meetings aren't always real. Yeah, the meetings are always real. I mean, sometimes they're more,
more real,
more business than not. But my crosstown meeting guy is not here anymore. So, I mean, he was a customer, and when somebody invites you to go meet up somewhere, you need to go meet up, right? Sure. That's the way it works. That is the way it works. Thoughts, comments, Yates Flooring Center chat line. So anyway, they'll have, and Coach McGuire talked about this on his podcast the other day. He talked about, the big trucks from Lubbock Truck Sales in there, and the band and the balloons. And I had this thought, Jamie, that in the spirit of the Big 12, that everybody should take a tortilla with them to the Red Raider Club luncheon and throw them up in the air. Or that maybe Texas Tech and whomever their partner is going to be for the tortilla toss, probably United Supermarkets, should provide a tortilla at everybody's table. And we all have a lesson in throwing the tortillas up instead of at somebody.
99, that's too high. 75% of those kind of luncheons seems like involve fajitas.
Oh no, this is I don't think there'll be no. That's usually barbecue.
Is that too high?
Yeah, it's usually barbecue sandwich,
okay.
Pulled pork or something like that. Because pulled pork is cheap and it's easy to prepare.
Okay.
And it's delicious.
It feels like I go to a lot of them where there's fajitas. Okay, and I was going to say, the chances are you could just grab an extra one.
Extra tortilla, yeah.
Go through the line, yeah.
Yeah, right. No,
but you don't want to make those people have to do extra work, right?
No,
to clean up.
No, I don't. No, you clean up after yourself.
You have to write your name on the tortilla before you throw it, and then you have to walk out with it.
Kind of like graduation. You throw your hat up, okay? Throw your hat up, and then you go from there.
No greater sign of advanced education than throwing up a pointy object and seeing how high you can throw it so it can land on your head to prove that you are educated.
It's a whole lot better than what we got going on nowadays, right? When the kids get up there to shake hands and then they just start busting a move.
Yeah.
I mean,
did you do that when you graduated from?
Yeah, that's me, Chuck. Yeah, that's got Jamie Lent written all over it. Yeah, that is just obnoxious. Be respectful. Shake the hand. Walk through.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Quit with the dance competition just so you can be noticed.
Unless you moonwalk.
Yeah.
No, don't do that either.
This.
Be respectful.
They probably thought you were riffraff, Chuck. No, because I was driving a real car.
As opposed to
pushing a shopping cart or just stumbling around.
Okay.
Yeah, but it has had hail damage repaired like 5 times.
5 might be 3 at least. Okay. Three at least.
I really thought it was only 2. No, so it's been 3 times
at least.
Man, what's going on with your garage, dude?
Yeah, it's not available.
All right, that was low, Jamie.
We need to present Chuck.
It's funny when he brings it up about the hail damage. You brought up the hail damage to bring up the garage. That's low.
It was an end to a means.
I got it. It's fair. It's a fair shot.
Had you brought up that you had more hail damage, then it would have been a fair shot.
Yeah.
He brought up the hail damage.
He was criticizing their shopping carts. I was sticking up for him.
Some of those people scare me, man. I mean, they just don't know what's going on. We need to present Chuck the Golden Cassette Award for Longtime Excellence in Broadcasting. Longtime excellence.
I'm here for it.
Okay. Let's see.
I'll hand him the trophy. We need it to be big. I'll buy the trophy.
College Football HQ. I've never heard of these people, but they predicted every game in the Big 12 for the 2025 season. We should send them Choice and Jamie and Clint's predictions as well, so that we could get you guys on the record somewhere. Their record for Texas Tech, I don't like it as much as I liked Sports Illustrated. And Sports Illustrated is a much more credible, reputable thing, even though they don't publish every week like they used to. For Texas Tech, here's what they have. They have Texas Tech losing at Utah. That's, I think, a conventional loss. They have Tech losing at Arizona State, okay? And this would be a typical Tech loss because you'd have a lot on the line here, and I hate even bringing this up. But they have Texas Tech losing at West Virginia to end the season and finishing with a record of 6-3 in the Big 12, 9-3 overall. This is what they say about the Red Raiders.
Can I ask this?
Sure.
Is there been what situation in I'm truly asking, which situation where you like, hey, win this game and you're in the conference championship game, have we had in recent times?
I'm just saying, if you'd have beaten TCU in 1993. I know, it's 32 years ago. That seems like yesterday.
So yeah, in recent times. And if you had beaten TCU in game whatever it was last year, you also would have, but it wasn't win this one you're in. We didn't know it at the time. Yeah. When was the last time that's happened?
Your point is made, Counselor.
So I don't feel like typical Tech was fair there.
Well, I'm talking about typical Tech on the loss to a team that you shouldn't lose to is what I meant. That's what people would say. Oh, typical Tech. We could see it on Monday morning. Typical Tech. Typical Tech.
Well, typical Tech also beats teams that you probably shouldn't have beaten, like Iowa State last year.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. You're right.
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet97.3.com.